maintenance on the pitcher's mound. We'll never use the drag machine, always done by hand. First thing you want to do is when you come to the pitcher's mound, there's probably going to be a hole in front of the rubber. Just drag the material from around, fill in that hole, because if there's a hole somewhere, that material didn't disappear, it went somewhere, so it's probably right around here in the front, because as the players push off, they end up pushing it all towards the front of the rubber, or towards the front of the mound. So you can just grab material from the front, drag it all the way back up into that hole. Once you got that hole filled in, you can use your rake, just kind of tamp it down a little bit right around the rubber, and then just start raking nice and even, so everything's nice and even all the way around the pitcher's mound. Being sure that if any material has ended up on the grass, try and pull it out of the grass so that we don't get a lip in front of the rubber, in front of the pitcher's mound. Just pull everything, work everything away from the grass. Don't rake to the grass, rake away from the grass. That goes for anywhere on the ball field, whether it's home plate or in front of the bases. You always want to pull material away from the grass. Don't rake to the grass, because that's how we end up with lips. So pitcher's mound, same thing pertains to around the bases. You'll do the same thing, fill in the hole first, then clean, finish rake the area. Home plate's the same way for the batter's boxes. Pull the material in, fill in those holes around home plate, then you can give it a finish rake afterwards to make it look nice. I usually work in this direction so that you're breaking out your footprints as you go. Just kind of work everything back towards you and walk backwards as you go. You can push it away from you, but the idea is when you step off of the area, there's no footprints. So it's kind of personal preference how you prefer to rake. Some people work better pushing away from them, working backwards. Right side dominant, left side dominant, doesn't really matter how you rake, as long as you have a nice clean surface. The main thing with raking is to fill the hole in. Hole in front of the rubber, around the home plate, around the bases, fill those holes in, and then make it look nice for the next group that's going to use the field. So to start, the first thing you need to do is on the foot pedals, make sure you're in neutral. All the way forward, that's forward. All the way back, that's reverse. The neutral's halfway in between. Pull out on the choke, turn the key, release the choke, start it up. You may need to give it a little bit of gas. Gas is the black pedal, brakes the red pedal. To go forward, next thing you do is you press down on the red pedal, release the parking brake by pushing it away from you. Now you're ready to go. Brake, and then select forward or reverse. To stop, press the brake, set the parking brake by pulling the lever towards you, turn off the key. The main thing when dragging is you want to stay away from the edges. We don't want to drag any clay onto the grass. You can stay 6 inches to a foot off of the grass would be great. Don't worry about the edges. Myself and the guys from DPW, we will take care of them during our regular maintenance. So stay away from the edges, stay away from the bases so you don't hit the bases and knock the anchors out of the ground. And the other thing is any holes that come up, rake them by hand. Don't try and clean them up with the machine. It's easier to just take a rake, fill the holes back in with a rake, and rake them out.
Well, this field especially, after a rainstorm, when we put down, speedy dry, whatnot, gets hard real quick.
When you put down speedy dry, don't drag the speedy dry. Speedy dry goes down, it sucks up the water, and you rake it up and take it up. Don't leave it down, because that'll turn into a gummy mess, and it'll just keep sucking up water, and it'll make your field wetter. So any of that speedy dry, quick dry stuff is not meant to stay down. It goes down, it sucks the water up, and then you break it up and shovel it up and take it out of there.
Something I don't think anybody in Norfolk baseball should host.
Yeah, that's the worst thing you can do is leave that stuff down, then play on it and drag it around the field. Okay. So then it acts like a sponge. Okay. So yeah, that's your drag there.
You guys noticed that when he put the drag down, he pulled forward a little bit and had his finger on the switch so it goes all the way down.
Yeah. You hear that? That's all the way down. set the parking brake, push that in, set the parking brake. You can leave it in gear, forward, reverse, but you just has to be in neutral to start it back up.
Okay.
So pretty simple. You got a basket, you can pick up any rocks or anything. Because if there's a rock and it ends up in this, you'll see there'll be this line that'll be following you around. That means you got a rock stuck under there. So just lift this up, take the rock out, throw it in the basket.
Got it.
It just not going to really harm anything other than it won't look very good.